A very good evening to one and all. I welcome you all to this news analysis initiative. Um, so we can get into today's news. Okay. Um, Today's inspiring person is Harini Kanekar. She is the India's first woman in the history of National Fire Service College to be accepted in the fire engineering course. Okay, she faced numerous challenges, including institutional resistance and reminders that the college was traditionally an all men's institution. Um, her journey serves as an inspiration to women who want to pursue non traditional careers. And to put it in very short, you can say that ability should only be judged on the basis of qualification or not gender. Okay, you can quote this person in your essay or in your ethics. Also, in society, when women related questions are coming, you can definitely quote her. Okay, so with this, we will get into today's first news article. Today's first news article is about Center notifies 4 new labor codes. Okay, the 4 new labor codes are codes on wages, industrial relations code, code on social security, occupational safety, health, working conditions code. Okay, now this topic is related to GS2 governance and social justice, and also you can expect this question in GS3 economy. Already in 2024, labor codes related question was already asked in UPSC Mains. Okay, now what is so specific about this means? Now already the government has replaced 29 existing central labor laws. Many were like archaic laws which were in use from 1930. Okay, and the stated objectives of government are to provide universal social security. For example, including the gig and platform workers. Okay, and they also have given statutory backing for minimum wages, and they have fixed like a national floor wage, and they have come up with something known as a very simplified and unified labor framework. So this makes the compliance very easier for the employers, and they also try to bring in formalization of employment by bringing them into one framework. Okay, so these are the major objectives that were told by the government, but in the subsequent days you will be getting like variety of articles related to this labor codes. We can at that time look in detail. Okay, so far these are the 4 labor codes and they have notified. Still they have to come up with the rules and guidelines which is not yet released. Okay, so we can look into detail when it comes. Okay, so the next article for today is, okay, we will start with this one. The new direction for India should be toward Asia. Okay, this article was written by former United Nations diplomat. That itself hold this article very important. So we will look into detail. The first one, the India toward Asia. So what are the key points that you can take from this article is that India must now shift its focus towards Asia centric. That is the first point that is told in this article. Now what they told is Asia now accounts for around 2/3 of global population. Okay, account for 2/3 of global population and wealth. So groupings like BRICS, SCO, ASEAN, all these things holds more important, and we also has to explore our options with related to RCEP. So this is the first point which you can note it down, which is Asia centric power shift. The second one is now if we see that US is trying to pull India away from China, and it is also putting in a lot of restrictions towards India with respect to the energy ties with Russia. So now this constrains the India with respect to its strategic autonomy. So that is the second point that is told in this article. Next, the third one is now India should focus on Asia's first approach, because India's foreign policy is not binary. It is not like US or Russia or US or China. Rather, it is our it is a like a multi-centric approach that we are having. So the first thing is we have to expand our value chains, logistics, and digital connectivity, and we must also explore RCEP and Asian markets as an alternative, because India is overly dependent on US market. So that is this third point. Now the fourth point is talks about the national security is now shifting toward tech centric, and it is moving away from land centric, majorly because of the recent cyber warfare that we are facing. Back like 2 days back we were looking into cyber crimes related issue. So the security is now shifting towards cyber warfare, so that is also they are now telling. So our argument for cyber warfare and AI enabled capabilities should be the central pillar for our national security. Okay, so now what they say is now AI is going to be the future. So when we are investing more on AI, we will be expecting a double digit growth. So funding for AI should be increased to 20 times the kind of funding that we are already providing. So it should be increased to 20 times. And the Parliamentary Standing Committee also told that India must focus on the indigenous research towards AI. So these are the major points that is told in this article. Okay. The next one for today is the overcoming resistance. Okay, like a day back we were looking into like a national action plan, antimicrobial resistance. It came into being. So now let us look into the details about this particular article. Okay. Okay. Now, antimicrobial resistance. So, where you can expect this question from? The first one is with respect to general studies 2, which is respect to the governance and social justice, and also general studies 3, technology related question you can expect. Okay, now antimicrobial resistance. The first key data point that you can take from this article is World Health Organization has stated that 1 by 3 in India are resistant to antibiotics, whereas globally if we take only 1 by 6 are resistant. So that itself shows that this antimicrobial resistance is high in India. That is the first point. And for example, you can write like E. coli. Okay, so this is an example which you can use. Next, they also told that this antimicrobial resistance, we cannot restrict it to human health, because we are using antibiotics for animals also, that is domestic animals. So in veterinary practice we are overusing this antibiotics, and the drug residues like for in weedicides or herbicides that we are using for agriculture and aquaculture, it is contaminating the soil and water. So these are some of the reasons why this antimicrobial resistance is there. And already we had something known as the National Action Plan 1.0. When you look into that, we are having certain shortcomings. The first one is this 1.0 focus only on at union level. That is the biggest shortcoming. And the second one is only few states are having the action plan. Example, Kerala. Okay, so it is at union level and only few states are looking into. So we are coming up with this National Action Plan 2.0. This National Action Plan's primary focus is this One Health, which we talked about, like animal health, plant and agriculture, aquaculture, and also human. So it is a multi-pronged approach and we are focusing on One Health initiative. Next, they have also strengthened the standards and the audits. For example, they have come up with the standard treatment guidelines and also audit in hospitals. They also told that there should be a strict control over the counter sale of antibiotics, and you should and that should not be any fixed dose combinations. So that is also told. And we must also focus on awareness, both in public awareness as well as to professionals. So this is also very important. Okay, so this is the major points that you should be knowing from this antimicrobial resistance article. Okay, the next one for the day is This one. Yes. This is a very important article that Kerala has declared snake bite envenomation as a notifiable disease. So now the question comes, what will happen if a state notifies a disease? Okay, what is the reason behind it? So notifiable disease means this part is very important when you come to like general studies 2, governance and social justice. This becomes important. So when it is notifiable, then it is legally bound. The like hospitals or any primary health center, they are legally bound to inform the government whenever any person having that particular disease visits that places. So this is what it is, and it is also time bound. That is, if it is a very serious diseases, then they must inform within 24 hours, or in some cases they can also extend it for 48 hours. So that is what is notifiable disease mean. So it is like informing the government and also in a time bound manner. Example, tuberculosis, dengue, then measles, all these things are like government needs to maintain data, like who is how many people are getting affected by a particular disease, what kind of action plan should the government take so that we can prevent such diseases further. So that is what this notifiable disease means. Okay. And then there was another article in the editorial, which is this: how blow to states. The Supreme Court should have upheld timelines for governance and president. I actually missed it. So what this article is about is, yesterday we were looking into the details about the Supreme Court judgment with respect to the Supreme Court's advisory jurisdiction with respect to the 16th presidential reference. So today there was some analysis regarding those advisory things. Okay, the first one, this is very important for your general studies 2 polity, that is one. And this 16th presidential reference, they told that this will promote unchecked delay by the governors, because by refusing to impart timelines, and we also rejected the deemed assent, the court has actually led to legitimize this indefinite delay. That is the first point which you should be knowing. The second one is, this has weakened the legislative decisions. That is, those decisions which were taken by the elected government of the people are now weakened. That is the second point. Now the third one is, now the president's reservation. If there is no time bound for president as well, so this will also lead to indefinite and inordinate delay. That is the third point. Next, the fourth one, they take the reference from the Government of India Act 1935. In Government of India Act 1935, there was a phrase known as in his discretion. Okay, that is in Article 200 and 201, we don't find this phrase in his discretion. This was consciously removed by the Constituent Assembly when they are framing the Constitution. Now what this article says is, now by telling that you cannot impose this timeline, we are again bringing this kind of a discretion back to the governors and president. That is what the fourth point is. Next, the fifth point is, Sarkaria Commission has come up with something known as 6-month time limit. Okay, 6 months time limit for both president and governor in assenting the bills. Now if the court had a very good chance to legitimize this recommendation, however they have denied that, like that this article is telling. The sixth point is, now what will happen to the opposition ruled states, because in practice the opposition ruled states bills are only kept for a longer period. So this is seen as a heavy blow to the federalism that is being affected. Okay, so these are the 6 points that is discussed in this article, and if you just look into these things, this will be like an added value to your mains answer also. Okay, the next article for today is, okay, this is a very important one with respect to the internal security. Government plans to unify security regulations for 250 seaports. Okay, so this is the article. Now here the important points that you should be knowing here is now the Central Industrial Security Force is now designated as the recognized security organization. Now they will be looking into around 250 sea ports in India. So that is the first point. Now it will be now this CISF will directly take regulate around 80 seaports, okay, and export and import and cargo, all these things will be taken care in these 80 seaports, and the remaining 170 ports will be looked into by means of an hybrid model. Okay, I'll tell what a hybrid model means. Okay, so this is what it is. Now what is the current problem? The current problem is we don't follow any uniform security template. We are still rely on private security agencies for providing security, and India has a coastal border of around 11,100 kilometer approximately. In such a scenario, internal security and this 2611 attacks, all these shows that coastal security is a vital for India's national security and sovereignty. So we have come up with something, this recognized security organization. Now what is this hybrid model means? In hybrid model they have differentiated into core and non-core areas. In core areas it is about counter-terrorism and like high-end screening, access control, all this will be taken care by the core agency, which is nothing but the Central Industrial Security Force. Whereas in non-core tasks like traffic management, gate management, or any other paperwork will be taken care by the private agencies or also by the state police. Okay, so this is what is told in this article. The most important is the CISF and recognized security organization, and it is very much important for your GS3 internal security. Okay, the next article we can see here itself, which is the government has come up with they have proposed the guidelines for defining obscenity, and it is given under IT rules 2021, and they are aiming to regulate social media, OTT and digital news sites. Okay, and you have to note that it is a draft proposal and it is not yet coming into being, and that is one thing. And for the first time they have explicitly defined what obscenity means. So that is one thing. And they have told that obscenity means something which is offending the good taste or decency of the public. That is the first one. The second one is if it is showing something indecent, vulgar or offensive themes, all these will constitute obscenity. That is the other thing. They told around like 17 types of restrictions were also placed. Okay, so this is also you should be knowing. Okay, now they have told that community standards test. How can you know that? Because the society is evolving. What was seen as obscenity before like a pre-independence or post-independence time, nowadays that is not seen as an obscene thing. So what is a community standards test is contemporary community standards, how the current scenario of the society will be taken into as the standards. That is what is this community standards test. Okay, and it was told in case which is known as Avik Sarkar was the state of West Bengal. Okay, was the state of West Bengal. In this case they told that we need to have a community standards test, and however they have also come up with certain exemptions like literary books, scientific research or artistic creativity, all these things are exempted in obscenity. Okay, so this is what is about the guidelines defining obscenity article. Okay, okay, here this one is Modi meets Australian PM, discusses cooperation in trade, defense and security. Here not so big details have come up with. Okay, here not so big details have come up, rather it is just a meeting so far. So if at all any details come, we can look in detail. Okay. Okay, this one here, this Public Accounts Committee has questioned the FSSAI with respect to the adulterated food items, especially during festival times. So it is just focused on this Public Accounts Committee. You can expect a question. And also with respect to Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, what are the roles and responsibility of FSSAI? Okay, that is one thing. And we have looked into this article, guidelines defining obscenity, we have looked into, and this has defined both social media, OTT platforms and digital news sites. Okay, all the three comes here. And the next one is with respect to this rupee goes for free fall, slips over 89. Okay, here the major reason they have cited is the trade uncertainties. The trade uncertainties is majorly due to the India US trade deals. Okay, however, we haven't finalized with any trade deals, and that is what is causing the rupee to go for a free fall. Okay, and the next one is here. The Afghan minister urges expanded use of Chabahar port. Now we have to look into this Chabahar port. Yesterday also it was in news. Okay. Now this is the Chabahar port. It is in Iran. Okay, and this ensures that India gets connected from Mumbai as well as from Kandla. We actually try to go to reach the Afghanistan, and through which we are trying to reach Central Asia. Here this is a multimodal one where we connect from sea lines also there, train is also there, and roadways. So all these things are connected together. So you should be knowing where the Zahedan is. Okay, and Zahedan you should be knowing. Zaranj, it is in Afghanistan, and the last point is Dalaram. So you should be knowing this full site, how it goes, and it is in Chabahar port, and it is Gulf of Oman. And Gwadar is a critical port which is of Pakistan. So we try to switch over and move to this way via and reach Afghanistan. Okay, so this is what is the other news. And is this one, Taiwan issues crisis guide. Just know what is this crisis guide, nothing much. This crisis guide is majorly it focus on because nowadays Chinese is planning to attack Taiwan. There are allegations regarding that, so they have come up with something known as the crisis guide. In threat of like natural disasters also, how to equip yourself, and also in case of a Chinese invasion. So that is what this crisis guide is about. Okay, there are around two places in news, especially the one is Israel kills 13 Hamas militants in Lebanon. We should be looking into Israel. And also the other one is this Democratic Republic of Congo, and this is about a UN mission. We will look into the places in news now. Now if you take Israel, Israel is surrounded by countries like Egypt, Jordan, okay, and here Syria and Lebanon. And recently now Israel has striken the Hamas militants in Lebanon. So that is what is in news. Here you have to remember the Sea of Galilee and Golan Heights. So Golan Heights is something which is in between, like a tri-junction of Lebanon, Syria and Israel. So you should know that. Then there is a Dead Sea. Okay, this is one thing. Then these are the places: Haifa, Tel Aviv, Gaza City, and this is the Gaza Strip. And there is a Rafah crossing here between Israel and Egypt. Okay, and Israel has sea borders like Mediterranean Sea, and also here you have another sea. What is that? Check it out. Okay, the other one, the Democratic Republic of Congo. It was in news, and it is continuously in news, and UPSC has already asked a question regarding Democratic Republic of Congo. You should be knowing the countries surrounding it, and one important thing is this Democratic Republic of Congo has a sea access. Okay, it's a very narrow strip which you should be knowing. The countries surrounding are South Sudan, Central African Republic, Republic of the Congo, and Angola, Zambia, Malawi, Rwanda, Burundi. Okay, so all these are the surrounding countries. In next thing you can see it in a very clear manner. Okay, so these are the countries that are surrounding, and here this is the great. You are seeing this place, right? This is the Great Rift Valley. Okay, and this lake Tanganyika. So this is a UPSC prelims question. It already came here. Okay, this PYQ, this one. Then you have this Lake Kivu. This was also in news. Lake Kivu, and it was a PYQ question. This is Lake Edward, and this is Albert. Okay, and this is the river Congo, and this is the equator, and this is one of the river which actually passes through the equator twice. See here, it goes, so it cuts the equator twice, river Congo. Okay, so this is one also you should be knowing. And that's all for the day. If at all you have any doubts, you can just post it. I will definitely clarify it. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Thank you.